Hey everybody, Bobby Umar here, and today we have a fantastic topic. I'm very excited about it. We're going to talk about parenting, and I love it. All right, well, let's get going. So, my name is Bobby Umar. I'm a four-time TEDx speaker and one of Inc. magazine's top 100 leadership speakers. And today we're going to talk about how to seize your passion with parenting. And again, I'm a parent, so I love this topic. I'm super excited about it. And tell me, I'm from Toronto, Canada. Tell me where you're from down below. Share your comments. Share the hearts. We love the hearts. It's a topic that's near and dear to my heart because I have little kids and they mean the world to me. And I know that all parents automatically have passion. Like, of course, you have a kid, you look into their beautiful eyes and you're like, oh my God, I want to do everything for you. And I'll tell you that there was a profound moment with my son when I was, I think it was about a month or two, and I was in my bedroom and I was changing, and I saw him. He was lying on the bed, and he slowly turned his head to watch me go around the room, and he was just lying there in the bed, and all of a sudden I was overwhelmed with a feeling of just immense profoundness of love, and my heart just kind of expanded 100 times. Like how the Grinch's heart expands 3 times, and how the Grinch Stole Christmas. My heart expanded 100 times because I realized that this child is completely dependent on me for everything, and I'm completely responsible for the child for everything. And I started to realize that I would do anything, everything I possibly could. I would give my life for that child. I would do whatever I could to make sure that child would grow up in the best way possible. And that was like the first time I really found some incredibly profound passion for being a parent. And it was just really like, wow, like boom, like holy cow. I thought it would happen at the birth. Birth was kind of surreal for me. It was like, oh my God, there's like this living being in my hand. It was weird. But I finally got that, and it was like, wow, really, really powerful. So, parenting is a big part of our lives, and we all, those who are our parents, let me know, tell me how you see your passion. I mean, I think passion's already there. One of the things is about how do we find more passion, how do we focus that passion, how do we make sure we use that passion in the right way. Now, if you're liking this topic, please share on Twitter, share on Facebook, let people know, let's join the conversation. What I'm going to share with you are seven tips that I use in terms of being a parent and how to seize your passion for parenting. And if you have your own ideas and stuff, please share them below. Share some hearts, share some comments. I want to hear from you guys. Where are you from? It made you hyper aware of leading by example. Yeah, totally. Like, they're going to completely follow your example. You're expecting less than a month. That's amazing. And for those who are expecting a baby and expecting to be, just so you know, you're already a parent. You've been a parent for 8 months. If you're 1 month away, and now the next stage starts, which is going to be interesting. So let's start with the first thing. The first thing you got to do is you have to redefine your purpose and your vision and your why as a parent. You have to see exactly what kind of parent you want to be, where you want to go, see what the goal is, what the end result is. And that to me is the most important thing, because if you do that, then you're going to be able to shift your mindset when it comes to creating that mindset and that vision for how you want to be as a parent, and that'll also fire up and fuel up your passion for being that parent. And I think that a lot of people, they certainly say, "Hey, I'm a parent. I'm a mom. I'm a dad," and that's fine. But taking the time to really focus on your purpose and really know what that is powerful. There was one night where, and there's my daughter's bedroom right over there. I was with my daughter at like 3 in the morning, and she was crying. She was like probably 4 months. She was crying, and I'm holding her, and I'm trying to shake her to sleep. Okay, and I'm singing a lullaby, and then she wouldn't go down. I tried to sit down. She's like, wah, wah. Okay, so then I keep going. 45 minutes later, my back is hurting. But some people complain about that kind of stuff. But for me, I knew my purpose. I was there in the moment, in my purpose, taking care of this helpless child who needed me. And I tell you, it was a profound feeling, and I knew it, and it didn't bother me in the slightest that my back was hurting. It didn't bother me in the slightest that I was up there for an hour. I eventually moved to the sofa, and I fell asleep with her on my arm, on my chest, the whole night. But that's okay, because that was my purpose. I'm being there to be a parent. So that's the first one. The second thing is, remember that parenting is also a verb. It's a state of being. It's also a type of leadership. So parenting is action. You need to act and be a parent. And so if you understand that parenting is not just the state of being or the authority or title espoused upon you, it's a verb. It requires action, it requires love, it requires engagement. So if you understand that, you'll be able to better seize your passion on being a better parent. Number 3, Number three, you need to take the time to connect your heart to your child's heart. Okay, so I'll give you an example. When my son was born, so I was dad for the first time. The first thing I did, we put him on my wife's chest, and she was there holding him, looking in his eyes. And I did the same thing. I took off my shirt and I took my son and put him on my chest, and I made a physical connection. I looked at him and he looked at me, and we just connected for 10 whole minutes, just looking at each other. That was powerful, and that really just ramped up and amped up the passion within me to see my focus, see my purpose, and here I'm going to do everything I can for this child. So that was really powerful. So the first week so far, number one, redefine your purpose, vision, and why as a parent. Number two, parenting is a verb. It's a state of being and also a type of leadership, so know what that is. Number three, connect your heart to your child's heart. The fourth thing I would say when it comes to seizing your passion as a parent, do what's best for your child versus doing what's best for you. And that's a hard one because you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted, but my child's screaming. Maybe I'll ignore it for a little bit. Well, you know what? They're crying, and they're crying because they need you, and they have no other way of communicating, so you need to get up and do the work. I'll just feed it this really crappy food because I'm too tired to make stuff. And you know what? I'm not saying you have to be perfect. No one's perfect. Like, once in a while we had to, make a few sacrifices. But for the most part, I would do everything I could that was best for my child. And often I would be noticing, am I doing this for myself or am I doing it for my child? So when you understand that, you're more likely to have a better focus and passion for your parenting, right? So you always focus on your target. Your target is you need to focus on who your purpose is, which is your child. So for me, that's a big part of it. And again, if you understand that, it can be just a really powerful way to seize your passion, doing what's best for them, whether it's sleeping, eating, growing, learning. Do you put the 6-month-old in front of the television for 3 hours? That's not what's best for a child. That's best for you because you're like, well, I need a break. Sure, it's better to actually, if you need a break, go take a nap or just lie there. Find other ways that will be better for your child than what's best for you. Number 5, the fifth way to seize your passion when you're a parent is start tribing or hanging out with those who inspire you. So find other parents and other friends. If you find parents and friends who are amazing, thanks for the hearts. I love the hearts, by the way. If you have hearts and you like what you're hearing, please share the hearts. Let's share the love. Share it on Facebook and share it on Twitter. Yes, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. So tribe with those who inspire you. So like if you find, I meet a lot of parents. And there's a lot of parents, some parents are really inspirational. Some parents are not inspirational. You're like, why are you doing that? Like, you don't need that. Hang out with the tribe that really inspires you. That makes you want to be better, because a better you is a better child, and a better you is a better parent. So you might as well hang out with those people. Find mommy groups and daddy groups and whatever, and hang out with the people that really will make an impact in terms of being better parents. So those tribes can be really great. They also help you refocus your passion for parenting. I love talking to parents about parenting. It's just the best conversation. We love talking about our kids. So it's fine. Let's do it. Number 6, check your ego at the door. So whether you think you're amazing at this, or you like to dress a certain way, or you think you're awesome, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with ego, but at a certain point you need to, focus on what's important. You need to be vulnerable. So, I'll give a story of my brother. My brother was actually, he's a very quiet guy, and he's very, he's introverted and whatever. But as soon as he had kids, I saw this change in him. I was like, wow, who the heck are you? And he's dancing and oogly googling and it was the funniest thing to see this quiet guy just going bananas for his child to sing. He's singing, he's making sounds, he's doing slurping noises, he's doing whatever he can. He all of a sudden became like Bozo the Clown, and I'd never seen this before. But, who cares about his ego? Who cares? He needed to do what was best for his child. That was awesome. I love that. Same thing with, when we go out with our kids and we're like, oh, I don't look better, I don't look at my hair or whatever. But for the most part, you know what? Or there was an article I read the other day about breastfeeding. People get so worried about that. But you know what? You're raising a child. Do what you need to do, right? The first 6 months, you're like, oh, worried about covering, whatever. At a certain point, my wife's like, let's just feed the kid. We need to do this, right? So your ego, check out the door. Be a better parent. No one will fault you for that. So we've got 6 of them so far, and I'd love to hear yours. What are some of the things you do to seize your passion as for parenting? Number 1, I said redefine your purpose, vision, and why as a parent. Number 2, know that parenting is a verb, a state of being, and a title of leadership that you need to own. Number 3, you need to connect your heart to your child's heart. Number 4, do what's best for your child versus doing what's best for you. Number 5, tribe and connect with those tribes who inspire you as parents versus the ones who don't. Number 6, check your ego at the door. And again, number 7, and here comes number seven, which is know why you're doing anything from a parenting perspective. So what that means is, so if I asked a parent, say, hey, so why are you putting your 6-month-old in front of the television? And they're like, oh, I don't know. That's a bad answer. Or why are you feeding your kid some French fries and gravy at 4 months? Oh, I don't know. You need to do your due diligence, right? I'm not saying you have to be like a brainiac or research like volumes and volumes of material, but you should do a little bit of research. You should ask people for feedback. You should think it through, but come up with an answer. A good example was, breastfeeding. My wife was struggling with breastfeeding, and so, we did some research. We talked to people. She read some books. We talked to a lactation consultant. We talked to our moms. We talked to various people, and everyone's going to hound you with advice. Like, oh my God, they're just hounding you with advice. And some people are very judgy. But as soon as you know why you're doing it, and it's based on research, or it's based on anecdotes, or it's based on something, and you've thought it through, it gives you confidence as a parent, but it also gives you purpose as a parent. And so you're seizing ownership of your passion as a parent. So whether it's breastfeeding or whether it's, some people, why don't you give your kid that tablet, or why don't you put your kids in front of television? I was very firm on, I know the research says kids shouldn't get screen time until they're 2 years old. So I was very firm with that. And then I was more purposeful as a parent. Not that I never put him in front of a screen. I mean, sometimes I did, but for the most part, I tried my best to avoid it. So, knowing why you're doing anything with the food you put in, and how you parent and why you parent, and the programming you do, and the clothes and the techniques and tactics you use, knowing that is a powerful way to own your passion for parenting and to ward off any sort of things that come your way, because people are always going to challenge your parenting. Well, why don't you do that? Why don't you try that? Why don't you try that? Well, I have thought about that. It's a good point. However, this is what I'm doing. Another example was, the sleeping out, or the, attachment parenting thing. I'm a big attachment parenter. I'll pick up the child whenever they're crying, because that's their only cry for help. And so I'll always do that. And you know what? It was hard the first 3-4 years, but now it's fine. We're in the sweet spot. My kids are 5 and 7, and so it's a lot better. So those are my 7 tips and thoughts for how to seize your passion from parenting. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to share more ideas or blog posts with Seopa, go to seopa.com/stream. You can check out the videos that we have there. You can create your own blog posts, your own videos, share with us. You can tweet us hashtag seize your passion, hashtag Q4BobbyU. And you want to offer tips, you want to offer advice, you want to ask a question, or maybe suggest topics for me for my weekly chat. I'm here every week, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Periscope, to talk about topics about seizing your passion. And we'd love to hear from you. We love the hearts, we love the shares, we love this community. We really want to build it up. And I love the flag. That's great. All right. So hope you enjoyed that today. Hope you can share stuff with us, and we'll see you next week. Wishing you guys all the best. Have a fantastic time seizing your passion while parenting those amazing hearts that we love.